Hi everybody, my name is Ellie Foreman and this is case study 3. For my client information, the client that I'm going to be discussing in this case study, he's 8 years old. He does have a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder. He lives at home with mom, dad, and he has 4 older siblings. Currently, he is receiving ABA services for the first time. And he started out those services about 6 months ago. But this is his first clinic that he's been in, and he never received any other services before he was 8 years old. The behavior of concern for this case study is to increase his functional communication skills. He's very specific on different reinforcement items that he wants, and he's not always able to tell us what they're called because he doesn't know how to label those things. So we're going to talk about that a little bit for this case study. So for verbal operants are a type of verbal behavior. Verbal behaviors involve social interactions between a listener and a speaker. Examples of some verbal behaviors or verbal operants are man, tact, echoic. You have imitation, listener responding, things like that. But in this case, we're going to talk about tact. Tact is labeling or naming an item. So a tact occurs when a nonverbal stimulus is present and it evokes a verbal response. So a client sees a picture of a dog and says dog. He's labeling that picture that we placed in front of him. Okay, so for the stimulus class, a stimulus class is a group of stimuli that share specific common elements along formal, temporal, or functional dimensions. So in this example, I'm going to be talking about dogs a little bit because most dogs have common elements of, a tail, 4 legs, fur, a nose, ears, things like that. So they all have similar elements. So most dogs that you would see, no matter what specific breed they were, you would refer to them as a dog. Derived stimulus relations. This is responses indicating a relation between one or more stimuli that emerges as an indirect function of related instruction or experience. So in this case, with the dog, an instance where derived stimulus relations would occur is you're identify the matching, you're matching to sample, you're slowly introducing different animals, matching the picture to the word. So like a dog matches the picture. So the word dog printed out would match a picture of a dog. So the word and the image match, the 2 image matches, the 2 words match. So that A equals B, B equals C, and then A equals C. So then that picture would match that word. So for example, tacting dogs. So the stimulus class again is dogs. So you would match pictures of dogs together, and then you would go into, okay, find the dog in an array of 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever your client is able to scan at that time. So you'd say find dog, they would touch the dog. So you went from matching 2 dog pictures to them finding dog in an array, and then eventually you would get to the point where you would hold up a picture of a dog and say, what is it? And then they'd say it's a dog because they have heard you reinforce that match dog and find dog, and then they would be able to label a picture of a dog. Then I used the Cooper book for some of the information I grabbed, so that's the reference I wanted to put. Thank you for watching. That was case study 3.